or maybe start with,
divide.
you got it. Yeah, you divide by 4. So n equals what in this case?
1 or
24 divided by 4.
oh, 24 divided by 4
Yes,
is 6.
it is 6. Yeah, n equals 6. You got it. All right. Any questions on that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why don't you try number 2? It's the same type of problem, but different numbers.
Yeah. Oh. N equals 18.
N equals 18. Very good. Any questions on that or anything uncertain? Yeah, not too bad. Once you get the hang of it, 12 times 3 equals 2 times n.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did the other direction, like if you wrote, if you for example wanted 12 times 3 on the right, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
It's however you kind of see it here. But yes, n is 18. All right, in the next problem here, they're giving you some units, but you never work with units when you're performing a math operation.
Yeah.
So you exclude them from what you're doing. In fact, it might even be good to rewrite it without the units here.
Okay.
All right. So unfortunately, you have bigger numbers to deal with. Did your instructor talk at all about pre-reducing in this context?
I think we can pre-reduce, yeah.
You can, and that would be a good thing to do here on the left, because 60 is divisible by 5. And if you're not sure, then unfortunately got to come over here. But it's always better to divide before you multiply.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also 60 would be divisible by 8, wouldn't it?
It does, but the way this works is you can only go vertically or horizontally.
Huh. Oh, okay.
Kind of an interesting little difference there. And something I teach on SAT prep because it's a way to save time here. Now you do want to write it as a fraction. You want to write it as 12 over 1, not just 12. Okay, and now you can cross multiply here. So go ahead and take 8 and multiply by 12. And then 1 times n is just n. But you have to multiply 12 times 8 for us, please.
Okay. $96. So n equals 96.
Yes, n is 96. Very good. All right, so let's look at the next problem here. A factory makes 12 bikes in 3 hours. If it keeps making bikes at the same rate, how many bikes will it have made in 8 hours? So the hint here is to set up a proportion. So what I would tell you is to set up 2 fraction bars like that. And then we got to decide what goes in each. Now you can sort of do this. You can say, okay, I'm either going to have bikes here or bikes here. So either you're saying bikes are in the row or bikes are in the column. Do you see this a certain way? Like do you like having the bikes here?
Yeah.
Or
maybe bikes in the column, I guess.
Okay, great. There is not a wrong answer here. All right. So 12 bikes, and then for the hours, has to go over here. Now it's got to match up. So think of Think of if it's the top number of bikes, it's got to be the top number of hours for that. Now, if it keeps making bikes at the same rate, how many bikes will it have made in 8 hours? So does the 8 go under the bikes or under the hours?
It would go under.
Basically, I'm asking you, is this 8 a
Oh,
bike
it
number
would go
or an
under
hour?
the hours
Goes there. So where must the variable go?
under the bikes.
Yes. So we'll
So
use B. We'll use B for that. Okay. And now again, you cross multiply here. So could you try solving this now that we've set it up?
Mhm.
Do you have any questions for me on this one?
No. Would B equal 32?
It is 32. Yeah. Now you could pre-reduce, and this is more of an advanced way. You can actually take 12 and divide it by 3. You can go horizontal with the pre-reducing. And so this would become 4 and 1. And so that's the way to make this go faster. 8 times 4 equals B times 1. 32 equals B.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Let's look at another problem here. There are other ways to do this as well. So it's just, this is just one way proportion. You can also make an equation. These are actually SAT type questions that you will see. All right, if it takes 2 cups of flour to make 45 cookies, how many cups of flour will it take to make 135 cookies? So again, I'm going to set up 2 proportions here. And this time we're going to do it differently. We're going to put flour here, okay, and cookies down here. And this is just me picking. You know, if you just dislike it, you can do it the other way.
Okay.
2 cups of flour makes 45 cookies because those 2 numbers are paired together.
Okay.
Okay, so they have to sort of go in the same spot.
And then it would become 135 would be the next denominator.
Yes, and then maybe C for cookies.
Okay.
This one does pre-reduce. You can reduce 45 and 35 if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. But go ahead and try solving this from here.
Okay.
And if you need help with the 45 into the 135, let me know. I can give you some hints.
Yeah, I might.
How are you doing on this one?
Okay. Yeah, I know about the 45 and the.
Yeah, so
the 130.
so the best way would be to do a factor ladder, but like we know that for example, you can try 3. They're both divisible by 3. Okay, so it's 15, and then this becomes 45.
Okay.
And then if 3 worked, you're like, well, maybe I'll try it again.
It becomes 5 and 15. 5 and 9.
I'm sorry, 5 and 15. You were
Yeah.
right. And then you're like, well, 3 doesn't work anymore, but maybe there's another one number that works.
5 works. 1 and
Yes.
3. Okay.
So the reason you pre-reduce is because you want to get this down to smaller numbers that you can easily multiply.
Yeah.
So go ahead and try that for me, please. Go ahead and solve this by diagonally multiplying. And you're basically there. You basically got the answer there in one step.
Okay, so just 6. C equals 6.
C equals 6. You got it. Okay, so if you didn't pre-reduce, you'd have to do 2 times 135, which is 270 equals 45C. And then you have to divide 270 by 45.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so much better to pre-reduce when you can, but you can only pre-reduce horizontally or vertically.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, on a map, 2 cities measure 6.2 centimeters apart. If the scale of the map is 5 centimeters per 10 miles, how many miles apart are the cities? So again, same thing, you're gonna set up a proportion here. I'm gonna let you set up the proportion as best you can. And basically, I'm just gonna ask you what goes in each position. There's not really a wrong answer, but you should fill in 3 of the 4 spaces. So go ahead and fill out your proportion however you see fit, and then let me know and we'll look at it together.
Map 2 cities measure 6.2 centimeters apart.
And if you have questions, August, as always, I'm here to help, but good to take a try if you can on your own.
So I'm not sure, would it be for cities there, like,
So let me try and help here. Let's
Okay.
call this city A,
mhm,
and then, or I'm sorry, the first one is for the city, and the second
Yeah.
one is for the map.
okay,
And then you have to decide centimeters and miles, or miles and centimeters, doesn't matter.
mhm,
But maybe that will help. See if you
Yeah.
can fill in some of that.
The miles 10 centimeters are 5, and then 6.2 centimeters. And I'm just gonna do A. Okay, so I got centimeters is 5, and then miles 10. So the
Where did-
numerator is 5, and then
for which one, the city or the map?
I was doing the city.
So the city, the only one they're giving you is the centimeters.
Oh, sorry. Then I was doing map.
So 5 and 10.
And then they were
6
6.2 in A.
So what did you want to call the variable down here?
I was gonna do A.
Okay, A is great. Can you pre-reduce over here on the right?
Yes.
What can you do to pre-reduce?
Divide 1 by 5 and 1 by 5. So it comes 1 and 2.
Good. So I want you to finish the problem from here. Cross multiply and get your value.
Okay. A equals 12.4.
A equals 12.4. Perfect. Any questions on that? Because we're going to transition to a new topic and want to make sure that that's
No,
clear before we get going.
I've got it's all
Awesome.
clear.
All right. So next page here says to make a table to find 3 equivalent ratios. So there's a couple of ways to do this. We kind of did this, I thought, last time, which is basically you take this fraction and you multiply the top and bottom by 3 different numbers. Like you might, for example, go times 2 times 2, times 3 times 3, times 4 times 4. It's as simple as that. Okay, so is that something you've seen? Okay.
So then you just go multiply each by the.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's a lot like the common denominator stuff that we're doing.
And so 4 over 14, 6
Good.
over 21, and 8 over 28.
Yes, very good. Okay. Now for the next question, you're going to have to help me out just a tiny bit because there's a couple of ways to interpret this 7 to 12. Did you in class write it as just 7 divided by 12 when you did this?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same thing here. You pick the numbers this time. I mean, you can be more aggressive and go like times 10, times 50, times 1,000. You can do anything you want. But I would keep them small if possible. 10's a good one because it just adds zeros.
I'll do tens. I'll do 5, I guess. Do 10 to 5.
What are you choosing to multiply the first one by?
10.
Okay.
And then I'll do the next one by 5.
Okay, and then I'll just suggest 2. 2 is always a good one. So go ahead and give me those new fractions.
Yeah.
Let me know when you got some values here.
So I have 70 over 120 for
Good.
10.
Good.
35 over 60 for 5.
Good.
And 14 over 29 for 2.
24. I heard 29. Maybe.
Sorry, yeah. It looks good. Yeah, okay, 24. There we go.
All right, fantastic. So go ahead and try this last one again on your own. Totally up to you what you come up with. But I'll let you work that out. You can see the pattern here.
Yeah. Okay. So I did times 10, times 2, and times 3.
Okay. What's
And
the
I
first one?
got 50 over 6 or 50 over 80,
Good,
10 over 16,
good.
and 15 over 24.
So if very good. Are there any questions from your test that you want us to redo or talk about or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, there's a full lesson on it. I was having some technical
Okay.
issues, so I didn't upload the video quite yet, but it's going to be done tonight. I would recommend looking at your notes again, maybe retrying some of the problems, but there's probably no reason you can't, get the best grade possible. We're still figuring out schedule for Wednesday, so I'll definitely get back to you. But that is going to do it for us today, August. Thank you so much. I will see you on Wednesday, probably some point.
All right.
All right. Have a great night. Bye now.
Bye.